Okay, so the first thing I want to say is that this is my opinion about the best way to learn jump canceling fast and not a concrete fact. Mission 13 is a really strong mission to learn how to jump cancel since the entire trip to Virgil is nothing but damned chessmen. This is not the only way to practice. I'm saying this because there is another useful area that is coming up later in the video, but this would be the best place to start as you will have many options for your thumbs to adjust. You'll notice I'm using Cerberus a lot, and there are two reasons for this. One, the Swordmaster version of the attack when jump cancelled will slowly move you up the enemy, similar to Lucifer in 4 if you repeatedly do it, while a standard attack will have you slowly descend if you repeatedly do it. The second reason is Windmill will put you right at the peak of the enemy since most new people are not used to tricking into jump cancelling, tricking being the teleport for those unfamiliar. Using a move like Windmill will get you in place, which is far more effective as a tool in the very beginning. You can also jump into place, and it's honestly a good thing to do all three: windmills to jump cancels, jump to jump cancel, and trick up to jump cancel. All three options will put you in the right place to practice, which is slightly above the enemy. Though Beowulf is the easiest to learn jump cancels in my opinion, Cerberus is the easiest in this setting to practice rising and falling jump cancels consistently, and it will help you develop the hand coordination. You can also rise up and down with Beowulf as Killer Bee, the name for this dive kick, and Hammer Down, the name for the style air attack. They will both have you rise and fall. The difference is Cerberus has Windmill, though you can just jump with Beowulf or hold and tap the uppercut to do Rising Dragon to get into place. The final difference is Beowulf does more damage, so the chessmen die faster, and if you need to build muscle memory, Cerberus will make you do it more, which means you will develop the routine faster, seeing as it does less damage. As you can see here, I'm doing some Beowulf jump cancel, and this is done by sliding the thumb from one button to another quickly. You can tap it of course, but sliding is faster and more comfortable once you adapt in my opinion. Here's a layout of the button placement I use for jump cancels. As you can see, the left face button is jump, while I leave attack in the top face button position. I put the action button position on the bottom face button, and the shoot button on the furthest right face button position. The reason for the melees being closer to jump is simply because I use the melees more to jump cancel than the guns. You can jump cancel with them, but it's mostly used less often, and it depends on the game also. DMC 3, for example, has two guns with no air move. Artemis can be jump canceled, but it's mostly used to sustain the enemy in the air with a grounded charge shot, or jump charge shot. And Ebony and Ivory doesn't really get much benefit off of jump canceling other than Rainstorm. So the shotgun is really the only gun that gets used for jump cancels in 3 pretty often, due to fireworks and the standard jump cancel being pretty good. The reason why this area is so good is because you can go back into that room and just respawn infinite chessmen in the hallway to Virgil. So as you can see here, I am practicing air raves with Dante while in Devil Trigger. The Devil Trigger is just so you can practice while on DMD, since the enemies will take longer to kill on that difficulty, while the Rebellion raves, both melee and gun rave, are to demonstrate that from 3 to 5, the method for Rebellion raves is the same, so if you learn them in 3, you learn them in 4 and 5 also. It's also good to remember that you can practice gun raves in any position. You don't need an enemy since it's not jump canceling. And this next section is built up of a variety of things that you can practice, and you can see the inputs underneath the Dante on the screen as I put them into the Steam controller. So please just look at it, try and emulate it for yourself. Here you can see you can trick up. You don't even have to have Swordmaster equipped if you're using the standard version. And you can just jump cancel with the shotgun. And here you can see you can do the same thing with aerial cross. Any move that is from jump to just basic attack, you can just have, even on the standard version, Trickster equipped, and it will act as a sort of windmill for the player to get into position so you can do different attacks. There's not much more to it other than a couple of things that we're going to go over. As you can see here, you can do it with pretty much any weapon, even, Nevin. And so the next section that is coming up is just important to further develop the skills that you learn here. So keep in mind. This is another method that is beneficial to the player, which is Quicksilver, and it's one of the reasons why I think 3 is the best of the Devil May Cries to practice jump canceling out of 4 and 5 or the reboot. And it's this right here. You have a method to slow down the enemy, makes it so they're not going to be moving around as much, so you're always going to have their jump cancel hitbox in. More or less, it just makes jump canceling easier. So the only downside is that you can't practice your action button jump cancels while in Quicksilver unless you have mods, and that is because you would be canceling Quicksilver to do so. So unless you have mods, this is only for X to Y practicing, as you can see on the controller. Mission 7 is also a really good mission to practice jump canceling due to one location within the mission. That location has the enemy that will spawn infinite Hellcanus style enemies. This is better than Mission 13 for one reason in regards to jump cancels, and that is launching into jump cancel. There isn't much to say about this. It is the skill set from earlier in the video, but applied with a weapon change. So you do a launcher with, say, Agni Rudra or Rebellion, and as you go up with the enemy, you then switch to the next weapon or any other weapon, since you have the weapon wheel in the Nintendo Switch version, and you begin doing jump cancels. However, if you do not have the weapon wheel, because you do not have the Nintendo Switch version with freestyle, or if you are not using mods, you can just switch to the next weapon and practice in routine, high time to whichever insert weapon you have in the arsenal. So in Mission 7 of the standard OG or SC port, you will use Agni and Rudra or Rebellion and one other weapon while either in Swordmaster or Quicksilver in this room to practice launching the jump cancels. Thanks for watching!